So, you want to buy a house, a place to call your own, a front porch where you can drink your coffee and silently judge your neighbor's landscaping choices. Great. But before you start binge scrolling Zillow at 2 a.m. or mentally designing your dream kitchen, we need to talk about something super important: financial goals. I know, not as fun as picking out tile backsplashes, but hear me out. Setting financial goals for homeownership is like having a roadmap. You wouldn't just hop in a car and start driving to a new city without GPS, right? Well, you could, but odds are you'd end up in a gas station parking lot eating questionable hot dogs, wondering where things went wrong. Well, the same thing applies to home buying. Without clear financial goals, it's easy to get lost in the process. So today, we're going to break it all down: how to set goals that actually work, the psychology behind why goal setting matters, and the sneaky little traps that can derail your home buying dreams. Sound good? Let's get into it. Here's something interesting. Your brain loves goals. No, really, there's a psychological phenomenon called the goal gradient effect, first studied by behaviorist Clark Hull in 1932. It basically means that the closer we get to achieving a goal, the more motivated we become. Think about those punch cards at coffee shops. If you have one punch on a buy 10, get one free card, you're like, meh, cool, free coffee someday. But when you've got 8 punches, suddenly you're sprinting to the counter, ordering lattes like your life depends on it. Well, the same principle applies to home ownership. When your goal feels distant and vague, it's easy to push it off. But when you create specific, actionable steps, your brain goes, oh, we're actually doing this. And suddenly your motivation skyrockets. And a little more on the psychology of goal setting, because surprise, our brains are actually wired for this stuff. When we set clear goals, our brains release dopamine. Yep, that same chemical that makes you feel good when you get likes on Instagram. But instead of a temporary high from social media, you are getting a natural boost towards achieving something meaningful. Here's something fascinating. Studies in neuropsychology show that when we write down our goals, we're 42% more likely to achieve them. It's like our brains have a built-in GPS system that activates when we put our goals on paper. Pretty neat, right? Now let's talk SMART goals. And no, I don't mean goals that can solve calculus problems. SMART goals stand for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And let me break this down with a real example. Instead of saying, I want to buy a house someday, which is about as specific as saying you want to eat something for dinner, try this. I will save $30,000 for a down payment in 3 years by setting aside $833 per month in a high-yield savings account. See the difference? Now your brain has a clear target, and you can measure your progress along the way. Here's how to apply each step of SMART goal setting to home buying. Specific: what do you want? How much money do you need? What is your ideal timeline? Measurable: trackable numbers are key. Save more money is vague. Save $500 per month is measurable. Achievable: if you're saving $100 a month right now, jumping to $2,000 overnight probably isn't realistic. Scale up gradually. Relevant: your goals should align with your lifestyle. If homeownership is a priority, make sure your spending reflects that. Time-bound: give yourself a deadline, or it's way too easy to say, I'll start next month or maybe the month after that. Now, what about the sneaky traps that can derail your goals? Yeah, if you're not careful, you could find yourself in some financial quicksand and mess up those home buying plans. Like trap number 1, not automating savings. Life gets busy. If you manually transfer money into savings, odds are you'll forget or accidentally spend it on a weekend trip to Vegas. Automate it and make your future self proud. Or trap number 2, lifestyle creep. This one's tricky. Maybe you get a raise at work and suddenly your $4 coffee habit becomes a twice-a-day necessity. Keep your spending in check, or that house fund will evaporate. And don't miss trap number 3, not checking your credit early. Your credit score is like a backstage pass to better mortgage rates. The higher it is, the better deals you get. Check it early so you have time to improve it if needed. And if you need tips on how to improve it, let us know so we can connect you to one of our Home Buying for Women lending advisors, and they can give you a solid roadmap to improving your score. So you're going to dodge those traps, but how do you stay motivated? Well, first, break it down. When people break down their savings goals into monthly targets instead of yearly or bigger ones, they are often more likely to hit their goals. So instead of focusing on saving $30,000 over 3 years, celebrate every milestone. Small wins keep you moving. So how are you going to save that first $1,000? Start by figuring that out and create visual reminders. Put a progress tracker on your fridge, a vision board, or even a simple sticky note on your bathroom mirror can reinforce your goal daily. Find an accountability buddy. Whether it's a partner, friend, or even an online community, having someone to check in with can keep you motivated. We're working on creating growth groups for this exact purpose. Or you can schedule a buying coaching session at homebuyingforwomen.com/coaching. Buying a home is a huge milestone, but it doesn't have to feel overwhelming. By setting smart financial goals, avoiding common traps, and staying motivated, you can turn what feels like into a distant dream into reality. Hey, when you do get those keys and step into your own place for the first time, that is going to feel pretty amazing. If you want more encouragement or home buying tips, keep watching for the next video and let me know in the comments, what is your smart home buying goal? Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who might need a little encouragement. Together, we can make the dream of homeownership a reality. You can do this and we'll be your guide. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.